Hello fellow romance book lovers, it's me, Kat. Thanks for stopping by for today's video. If you're new here, welcome. I'm happy to have you. Make sure that you look around on my channel. I'm sure that you will find a trope that you like or an author that you like. I've done lots of reviews in the past 2 years and also some fun extra kind of videos that you would normally find on a booktube channel. I'm currently celebrating my channel's 2-year anniversary. Yay! I'm so excited, and I've got some things up my sleeve for later this year, bringing you new kind of content to my channel here that will involve the authors that we love and more books that we love. So welcome, and I'm so glad everyone is here. Today's video is on the book Thy Kingdom Come by Monica James. I'm a huge fan of Monica's. I have been reading her forever. I love that she's pushing her boundaries as a writer. This is the 3rd dark romance series she has written, and she has done a phenomenal job with these dark books. My voice is a little cracky today, so I apologize in advance if I go hoarse. It's just the dryness of the winter. I have done several videos on Monica's books and will of course include them in the description box below and then also in the cards above. And she has her own playlist on my channel, so go back and check those out as well. Let's get into Thy Kingdom Come. I have my Mary Miraculous medal on today in union with this book, feeling like we need a little extra protection and that Punky needs a little, and Baby Doll, quite frankly, need a little extra protection. I've got them covered. Thy Kingdom Come is, like I mentioned, a dark romance. The cover, holy smokes, like, wow. She nails her covers. She just does. I love the thought that she puts into her covers. It's not lost on me. Covers, I wouldn't consider myself a cover snob because I don't think a book is only about the cover, but I do believe that when, and it sounds so stupid when I say this, but the cover has something to do with the inside of the book. I like that. I mean, of course they should, but the extra thought that some authors take in developing the cover and who they use, who they put on the cover, the colors they use, how it ties into the story. I love figuring that out. So the cover with this one, I was dying. I was like, okay, who is he? What is this all about? So intriguing. The book is about Puck Kelly. He goes by basically Punky. I mean, of course he has a nickname like that. Look at him. And he is a... Macy is just getting comfortable over here, so you probably just heard her shift on the carpet. Settle in. Sorry about that. Punky is, I think, in his younger 20s. He is part of the most prominent Irish mob family in Northern Ireland. The story takes place in Ireland. I am part Irish. One of my best friends is first-generation Irish here, so I loved reading about it because it reminded me how they talked. Although her family is not from Northern Ireland, they're from like the Dublin area and then around in the counties around there. I still felt very at home with how they spoke, and Monica writes the dialogue, how they say it. Now, I say they have accents because I'm American, of course, but she writes it so you're reading how the accents come through. Phenomenal. Loved, loved, loved that part. And as soon as my brain kind of clicked into that, I read it with no problem. You know, at one point someone, and I'm not even going to try to do the accent because the Irish accent is like not easy to do. But at one point, one of the guys says, Jesus, the way it was said. I could hear it exactly with the accent in my head. Loved all of that. So Punky is part of this very prominent Irish mob family, and the book is all about that world that he is in and the world surrounds him and his place in that world. His mother was killed very early on in the book. He was 5 years old, so it's like a flashback. It's a lot. Those pages where Monica goes about how his mom died, but it's very much made him, and when you read the book, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It's very much made him who he is today, and his life's purpose is to avenge his mother's death. He lives with his father's new wife, and their kids. He does not get along with his father or his stepmother, but their two kids who are twins, Hannah and Ethan. He adores his half-siblings, adores them, and they love him just as much, loved seeing that soft part of him. Punk says that his dad is happy to forget that his mother existed, and yet he himself lives to avenge her death. That is very much a part of this story. The other main character in the book is Baby Doll. It's basically his love interest. We don't know. There's a big question mark over her head. Her real name is Poppy, but he calls her Baby Doll, so we're going to go with that. We don't know a lot about her. Monica writes secrecy behind her and leaves big question marks about her through the book. But one thing is for sure, the minute they meet, we know that Punky is like, what is going on here? He's intrigued by her, and she affects him in a way that takes him wholly by surprise. Baby Doll works as a housekeeper for a fellow family that his family is good friends with. We know she's up to something. This is from Punky's perspective, and he's talking to Baby Doll the first time they meet. "Are you always this rude, or is it just me?" she says bluntly, placing her hands on her hips. I am shook by her confidence and can't seem to stop grinning when she's near. She's annoyed, and it gives me great satisfaction seeing her pissed off. "Don't flatter yourself, Baby Doll," I frankly reply. I don't care what her name is, she's Baby Doll to me. When a lopsided smirk falls across her full lips, I want to reach out and touch them. I want to know what a genuine smile feels like. I haven't smiled for so long. I'm almost envious of her lips, but I'm also curious to know how they'd feel, how they'd taste. "Oh, so you're always a rude sot then?" "Good to know." Her smile soon turns into a scowl as she hops on her bike. I laugh deeply in response. Surprises just keep on coming. A part of me wants to stop her, as I actually don't want her to go. She interests me, and I don't know why. She's powerful, but that's not it. There's something more. And then a little bit later on, he's so funny. He is funny. He's cheeky, right? That's the right word. He says she's pretty, but he doesn't let her good looks take him away with the fairies. I just thought that was a funny line. There is a part of the book that is about true Irish history in Northern Ireland versus the rest of Ireland. Belfast and Dublin, two big cities, Catholics and Protestants. And although we know that there have been a lot of strides made to unify the country, it was interesting for me to read that, knowing the little bit that I do know, and being Catholic, and how he talks about the Catholics, because he's Protestant, and he talks about being a young kid and walking down the street with Rory and Cian, and them basically getting beaten up by Catholic boys. So kind of made me feel bad, and yet also remember about that part of their history in that country. And living in America, always having religious freedom, but also knowing what a struggle that has been for Ireland. I really did like Punky a lot. And like I said, Baby Doll just had a huge question over her head a lot through the book. But going back to Punky, he is brash. He is cocky. He's attitude for days. He is unpredictable. He is violent. But then he has these soft moments. Not soft, because there's nothing soft about him. But there's these moments that he really called to me. My mom was slain because she was lost to a life that showed her no mercy. Oh, Lord, all he wants is to wipe the earth of the men that took her life, that he watched take her life. Oh, his poor heart. At one point, and I don't know if Monica did this purposely. Now, I kind of feel like maybe she did. So I want to toot my own horn for finding it. It's something that I have read now in each of her dark romances, being the All the Pretty Things trilogy, Devil's Crown, and now this one, that the main male character talks about his love interest and how their demons dance together, that they see something in each other that accepts that dark part that they have to them, and they see it in the other person as well. And Punky said it here too. He said, "But now all I want to do is be lost in Baby Doll, as I know my demons will play well with hers. I just want to let go." And I was kind of like, oh, there's the demon thing again. And it's something that I think for me connects each of these men, Saint, Alexei, and now Punky. And it helped to frame him for me a little bit. Not that I compared him to those other characters, but it helped me put him in a place in my mind as I'm reading him that I felt like I understood him and got to know him well, like I know them through the books. Chapters 13 and 14, oh my God, we kind of go along as we're learning and the story's unfolding, and then we start going like up, and there's like, you know, the moment where you're like, oh my God. And that was chapter 13 and 14 for me. And not only is it some steaminess for sure, wow, but it also, oh my gosh, it broke my heart, had my heart beating so fast. I was like, holy smokes. And thank goodness I knew this going in. It's a freaking cliffhanger. Now, that's actually okay, but we have to wait for the next book. And true to Monica fashion, she leaves us not literally hanging off the cliff. She gives us the rope to hold on to, but she's not going to pull us up until she gives us that second book. And oh my God, the suspense. My heart was beating so fast when I finished this book and I finished those last couple pages. Oh my gosh. So I cannot say that we get a happily ever after at the end of this book because it's a freaking cliffhanger. So you can count on for sure I will be doing a video on the next book. Let me know if you have read Thy Kingdom Come, or which of Monica's other books you have read and which ones are your favorite. And if you haven't read Monica yet, her backlist is long, and I assure you there is something for you in her other books. Go and check them out. Remember, I always put a direct to Amazon link in the description box below, so if you want to grab the book, it's right there for you. I would love for you to consider subscribing and giving the video a thumbs up while you're here. When you do that, it not only helps my channel, but it will help this video get shown to more people here on YouTube. I'm, of course, on social media, which is Kat Reads Romance on Facebook and Instagram, so come say hello to me over there. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye!